So I've been teaching guitar here in Vancouver for over 12 years. And while I don't like to generalize, I will say there are basically two different types of students. Or you could say two radically different approaches to learning the guitar and practicing. Let's find out which one you are. Right now I've got two books available on Amazon. One of them is called Guitar Strumming Like a Pro, and the other one's called Guitar Soloing Like a Pro. These books are for kind of an intermediate level or someone who wants to take that next step to the intermediate level. So for example, in Guitar Soloing Like a Pro is for anyone who enjoys playing soloing on the guitar or you'd like to learn how. This book, it's gonna help you break out of just using those minor pentatonic shapes to help us find those really tasty sounds that we can get by looking outside the pentatonic box. In Guitar Strumming Like a Pro, if you feel like you've got your chord shapes down and now you just want to sound more interesting when you strum chords, this book is full of tips to create more interesting rhythms, cool licks that you can play while you're strumming, and all these exercises can work on millions and millions of songs. Attitude number one works like this. You start trying to learn a new chord or maybe a new scale shape or a new song, and you start making some mistakes. Of course you do. It's something new, right? But as you start making more mistakes, you start getting frustrated and you start feeling this stuff kind of welling up inside you and you get angry and then you start smashing your fingers against the fretboard and cramming these in here and you even start trying to play it faster and then you start using all your muscle to try to cram that finger in the right spot. And that frustration builds and builds, and one, it's going to take you longer to learn, and two, you're not having fun anymore, are you? Some of the downsides of this is you won't practice as much because you won't find it as fun. Maybe you won't practice much at all. Or worst case scenario, your guitar will end up like one of those many, many lonely guitars gathering dust somewhere in a closet. How we approach practicing things and how we approach making mistakes makes a huge difference. Maybe the biggest difference in the long run. I would argue in the long run, it's not about the size of your hands. It's not about the ability to stretch. It's not about your innate sense of rhythm. It's about how you mentally approach practicing. And if you really look inside yourself, you might find these attitudes showing up in other parts of your life too. And the more you start to notice these frustrations coming, you can just recognize them and go, hey, I see I'm feeling frustrated right now. Let me just take a moment to breathe a second and try these chords, these new chords or these new licks or whatever we're learning, and try them very slowly and deliberately. When we do them slowly and deliberately, what happens is we can actually notice where we're making the same mistake over and over again. And that's the key. Here's how attitude 2 works. Let's say you're learning a new chord. Let's say it's a C chord. Now, your skill level might be way beyond C chord, but just bear with me. It's the same thing we're talking about here, right? So let's say you keep grabbing a C chord and your first finger keeps going to the wrong string. Oh, it is frustrating. I get it. Look, I've seen it so many times. But attitude 2 works like this. When you see that mistake happen multiple times, think of it as a gift. These mistakes are gifts because they tell you what you need to do to change. And so if we approach it with that attitude in mind, we can work on the chord slowly and deliberately and watch our fingers do it wrong so that we know now we can just tell our first finger, hey, first finger, you need to curl more there to get to the B string. And then we do it again. It's not going to solve the problem right away. But over time, it will, because we're doing it very deliberately and thinking about the very specific problem that is wrong, rather than just trying to throw our fingers here. Oh, I can do it, I swear I can do it, right? The problem is only one little tiny problem. And the gift was getting it wrong several times. That's what told us what the problem was. That's what helped us identify that specific problem. And then furthermore, when we see these errors as gifts, it just releases a lot of that stress. It's actually like a relief. When you see the error, you go, oh, cool. It's exciting now. You go, oh, that's exciting because now I see what the problem is. I've identified the problem. And if I've identified the problem, now I really know I can fix it. It's going to take some practice, sure. But now I know exactly what to do and how to fix it. So approaching practicing and learning guitar or taking lessons with this attitude is radically different. Now, you're having fun. You're seeing the challenge as something exciting. And even when you make mistakes, you see it as a gift. Now, I know I've had some students roll their eyes at me when I say, you got to see this mistake as a gift. I know it sounds a bit hippy-dippy, but it really does work. And, which do you want? Do you want frustration or do you want joy and excitement? Which one is going to keep you playing guitar longer and getting through that difficult period of learning something new? Because as soon as you've got this new thing down, that new thing is easy now. It's nothing. When you look back at maybe when you started guitar, you can probably think of some things where you were like, oh God, that seemed so hard at the time. And now it's so easy. Everything becomes like that, right? Everything does. If you approach it with the right attitude, and then you'll stick with it. You'll stick with it because you're having so much more fun, right? So let me know, which one are you? Are you attitude 1, attitude of frustration and aggression? Or are you attitude 2? Can you learn to see mistakes as a gift and use that to improve your guitar playing faster and have more fun? Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and share this video. It really helps us a lot. And we'll be back soon with some more great guitar content for you.